Okay, very nice. Finally it worked and we are live. So I'm going to give you the mic soon, Jurica. Yeah, and I'll make myself deaf so I cannot hear your comments while playing. And yeah, I'm just about to invite my opponent. So Jurica, you're on.
Hello everybody, welcome to Chess Dojo Classical Tournament. Welcome to 5th round of match between Jan and his opponent. To be honest, I don't know who is his opponent yet, we'll see soon. We have a classical chess now and the game didn't start yet though. I guess, okay, they started to play now. And Jan is having white pieces again, this time, like in the previous match. He played knight f3 last time. We will see what he'll play now. Same. Okay, let's see the opponent. Opponent is unrated, basically. Yeah. He has only blitz rating and bullet rating, no classical. So we don't know much about him. But I'm sure Jan is prepared very well. Okay, we have knight f3, g3 again from Jan. First two moves in last game, Jan went for the double fianchetto. In this one, with g3 and b3. And now he's playing third move, he's playing d4. Okay, so now we have some kind of Catalan setup for white with d4 and g3, bishop g2. Even though white didn't play c4, he might play that later, so he might actually transpose into Catalan. And Jan is playing again very solid setup. It will have a little bit different game now. I think we won't have bishop on b2, but again, very positional, very strategical, and will be very long and interesting game again. So, yeah, it will be interesting to analyze this today, and hopefully chat will also enter analysis. Okay, black is already in problems. Third move, he doesn't know what to do. We'll see today. Last round, Jan's opponent again played. We said a few times already, played very well, and basically this whole tournament is just a preparation for Jan, because I think it's like his first or second tournament ever. So he's preparing for live board tournaments, and last game was very, very good practice because it was very, very tough game. And let's see today. Okay, b6, black played now third move, and this is not a great move, I think. Actually, black should play something like, I don't know, even c5 is possibility. e6, g6, maybe even bishop f5, even though maybe it's not time for that bishop yet, but b6 feels like a very wrong move, actually, for a few reasons already. First of all, it's slow move. I mean, black is not developing fast enough with this move, that's for sure, because he should castle as soon as possible. So e6, bishop out, and okay, not on c5, of course, bishop somewhere, and then to castle. So b6 is a slow move, and not only that, I think b6 actually doesn't do anything very well, and it actually creates weaknesses, I think, because bishop will come to g2, and this diagonal will be problem especially after c4 move later. And c6 square is also a little bit weak now after 95. Maybe later black will have to. Okay, black will put bishop on b7, but then feels like that bishop will be blocked. Okay, at least black is fighting for central squares. That's a good thing. But b6 just feels like a wrong move. Jan is surprised, but we said if opponents surprise you in the openings, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. That might actually be a great thing for you, because if you know theory very well, then it means that he plays something else out of theory, which b6 I think is that kind of move. So this is a surprise, but like pleasant surprise for white. Bishop g2, obviously, and now we'll see e6. Okay. Okay, b6 might not be that terrible in the end, but still not a great move, I think. In this kind of, let's say, quiet positional positions, strategical, every weakness, every bad move, like small weakness, can be something that we play on later. Like position is very solid, very tough, but now white has something to play on. At least I think this diagonal is very nice. c4 is now definitely an idea, like anyway in these positions. Yeah, we will have some kind of Catalan type of position with b6 on the board. Jan is thinking now, probably just castle here first, and then.
Okay, sorry for interrupting. This is Jan. And by now I'm set up well. So the board is set up, moving pieces on a real board. I started writing down the moves, and now the game really starts. I was thinking about this pawn going to c5. Haven't seen this before, I think. And well, now it's thinking time, and from time to time I will just give you my thoughts here. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. All right, Jan is making it like really classical, playing on real board, writing moves, but it's actually, I think, a very good thing that gives you even better preparation for real classical tournaments. Yeah. c4 or castle now here. I think Jan won't go with b3 anymore, as we said. Bishop on c1. They say usually knights before bishops, just because well, usually it's much easier to decide where we put knight than the bishop. That's very often a thing. For example, here this knight on g1 is usually coming on f3, like in every opening. And bishop here, for example, on c1, it's very unclear still where is he going. I don't think bishop g5, for example, makes any sense now, because black can play h6 straight away. So that's why they say knight first. Okay, young castle now. Okay, bishop e7. Black is now developing quite normally, in the typical way in these positions. c4, yeah, obviously now. Yeah, now white definitely has something to play on, and that's this diagonal. So yeah, so usually Catalan is like, let's say d4, knight f6, c4, main move, and now black plays e6. White has choices, of course, here now, knight f3, d5, and g3. This is Catalan. Opening like bishop e7 now, bishop g2, castle, castle. This is like main position in Catalan opening. So we have some kind of similar position, but only with b6 on the board. Yeah, one knight f3, obviously, it's kind of a waiting move that can transfer to many openings. So, yeah, in the game we have very similar position as we see now. So basically, it's like here, black played b6. Let's see. Okay, there are a few games. b6, white castle. We want to use engine again, like we didn't last time also. So we'll just analyze like this. So yeah, we see now that it's not very great for black. I mean, if that's what I'm always saying to my students, if you have a choice in the opening, like to do to castle or to do something else, of course, castle first always, then find the plan. You know, you are basically always sure that you're going to do that. So why not to do that straight away? Then because b6 again, it's not only a slow move, but it's also like a weakness here. So yeah, castle. Let's see what they played. Yeah, okay. Now they actually it is some kind of theoretical position, even though white has great score here. We can notice straight away, and not so many games actually in this position. Is some kind of not a great sideline, I would say, for black now. As yeah, castle. We see now also they usually dc4, c6 is also a very modern move. Knight d7 also, and then b6, c5 also is like too early. I feel here, even though black might try, but black will have like hanging pawns now actually in the center, or even straight away white can create isolated pawn in the center, as this pawn cannot be defended anymore by any other pawns, so it will be forever a problem. But black is playing like black has normal play like with pieces, so that's what he claims here, that he can play even with this isolated pawn, but white should be better, of course, because of that. And yeah, b6. Let's see. They usually cd5 is something that I would also play in these kind of positions. Also, every time I had this kind of pawn structure with d4, c4, I feel like every time black plays b6 in this position, you can always take cd5 and open also a c file, because c6 is a weakness, as we said later, and c7 might be also a problem. Okay, black will always try to play c5 here, but he will have problems with these pawns. Actually, those pawns won't be like strong central pawns. They will be weak. Actually, they will be like hanging pawns, and sometimes they can happen if you don't have like great support for central pawns, then they might be actually bad. So it's not easy to play here for black. Yeah, that's why main line is classical main line is just dc4 here, and now we have queen c2 and many lines and many games, as Catalan is very popular opening actually, and played a lot. So let's see what happened in the game. Knight f3, d5, castle, bishop e7. So we had c4, obviously. Now black is still thinking. Yeah, I don't know what to think here. Okay, maybe bishop e7, but now it's really time. It's really time to castle. Okay, let's get back to game. Now we have some moves actually. c4, c6, black played. No, I'm sorry, black played knight from b to d7. Wow. knight c3, c6. Yeah. Here in this position, as b6 is like one slower move. Now knight from b to d7 feels like another, just because black again didn't castle when he could actually, and sometimes like one slow move might not be too bad, or like you castle in the end. But if you play like 2 or 3, or of course more moves you play with ignoring to castle, you can get in serious problems straight away. So the point is now that I think white should look for like a winning move, maybe even straight away, and basically white should look now how to punish this opening mistake. And I think that's something that we always should do, as I already said today. Like when your opponent doesn't know theory and he's playing like slow moves in the first place and thinking about castling, then you should, of course, I mean, it's only logical
This is Jan again.
that
Hello, sorry for interrupting.
you can try to
I
exploit
think
it straight away.
created a weakness on c6, the pawn now.
And yeah,
of course I'm
okay,
trying
sorry, Jan.
now to well, attack it more or less. So there's the option going with the knight to e5 and queen.
Yeah, he's already in this position.
But that could be defended by him, and
it's too late.
I'm just trying to find out a plan now, and that's for me.
Okay. Yeah, again, black didn't play, like, didn't castle, but okay, c6 is actually very like important move in this position, so might not be too bad for black now anymore, because I think white missed the moment. That's the thing, and I was talking about this position actually. So again, when your opponent doesn't know theory play and he's playing like slow moves or like not logical moves like this one, knight from this knight d7, then you try to exploit it straight away, and you can be even much better in first few moves, of course. So yeah, okay, b6 we couldn't maybe exploit straight away, but now knight from d to d7 is second move like that. And now I think there's actually an opportunity. I think knight e5 is like a very annoying move now here. After c6 is different, but we'll get to that. So in this position, obviously, again, everybody castle here, or almost everybody, or bishop b7. Okay, c6 of very solid move, but knight from d to d7 is like weird, at least. I mean, especially when he could have just castle. So now knight e5, I think, is annoying. Maybe we can use engine, or no? Okay, no. Because yeah, white should be better here. We even without engine, we can, I think, figure that out, because the idea is knight c6 now. Obviously, that's the point. So that's a threat. And now we can really see why it was much better for black to castle than to play b6, because now let's say bishop b7. I mean, knight e5 is anyway idea in this position. We wanted to play on this, open that bishop and play on that diagonal. And now maybe white can play something like queen a4 in this position, I feel like. And the main idea is knight c6 again. Of course, black can avoid, like knight c6, we trap the queen. Of course, black can avoid that, for example, and castle now. And after knight c6, he can play queen e8. But this is like, I think, like white basically almost won already strategical battle in this game, in this position, because this is like beautiful and very clean bishop pair now, as white traded dark color bishop. Position is quite open and will be even more open. I think that's obvious. It's not close position, that's for sure. So bishop pair will be like very nice and very clean advantage here. And I can tell you, even from my experience, sometimes like in classical games, you can easily play for the win just with that, just with that advantage. And sometimes it's actually even like very nice because feels like you cannot go wrong. I mean, you have so beautiful play with bishop and with pieces that feels like opponent would be very happy with a draw. Like I think, for example, b3, bishop a3 is already like looking very dangerous, or bishop f4. Obviously, we traded dark color bishop, and now dark squares will be our advantage. And that's the same idea behind queen a4 move also here. After 95. Of course, okay, obviously first option for black is to take, but I think now the jet pawn is just hanging now, especially with this now coming, which is Tempe also on the rook, so this is just probably a winning position. So black cannot take, actually, and that's bad sign for black. So I think white is just clearly even much better now. Here maybe I'm wrong. We will see later what engine says, but I feel like this is just much better position already for white. And just because white did that, what we said, white tried to exploit bad moves in the opening from his opponent, because b6 again was edgy move, like not a great move, but still not a disaster. But knight from b to d7 is like a second like mistake, and now it's all of a sudden it's too much. For example, bishop b7, queen a4. I don't think there's other move now for black but to castle, or whatever he does. Again, the idea is knight c6. I think this is just... Can I get any better for white in this Catalan type of position? That's like every dream come true. I mean, you have bishop pair, you have this diagonal, you have white squares, you have attack on center. Black pieces are useless. This is like Catalan dream for sure. So I think 95 is good. Best move actually in this position. I might be wrong, of course, but looks good. So the game, white Jan didn't do that, didn't exploit that straight away, and black managed to play c6 now. And now it's, of course, it's different because c6 now can be defended different ways. And of course, after 95, now black can even take on e5 because d5 is protected. This is like, this is common type of pawn structure for black in this position. So now it's okay, and that's why we always have to be like concrete in chess. We have to wait for our chance. And yeah, also like big point here, what I'm always saying also to my students, you can be easily much better from the opening. Why not? That's why it's important to know theory and know ideas in theory even more, I would say, and to play for the win from the start, basically. Why not? And yeah, you always have to be concrete and look for the most concrete options, because I think obviously here 95 is most concrete move. Okay, except cd5, or cd5 is a capture, but that's obvious. And 95 is second concrete move in this position, and probably the best, I think. We have two games here. White played cd5, e5, knight c3. Okay, now again 95, even better maybe, or pretty much the same. 95, bishop b7, queen a4. I think that should work. Okay, now we are back to some kind of actually very normal position. Or yeah, now Jan played 95. It's very interesting. It's a pity that he didn't play 95 move before. 95 d5, 97. Yeah, now it's a little bit different because this pawn is dependent. But okay, this is also like, I would say, typical Catalan, because now white can attack the center with e4. Maybe, of course, not straight away, because if straight away, then black will take dc4 actually. Okay, undefended pawn with f4. Okay, looks reasonable. dc4 is not an option for black, so now everything is protected at least. Okay, yeah, maybe it's okay actually to take a space like this with e5, f4. e4 will come. It's just a question of time. What is more concrete here? Maybe other option. Maybe it's like cd5 first. Yeah, we always have to be careful with pawns, because if white plays e4 straight away, then even d4, no, d4 is not an option probably. Maybe actually it's queen d4, bishop c5, black captures pawn on e5 later. Anyway, dc4 I think here is even clearer and much easier, because that's now black is winning probably, I think. So first cd5, obviously, open position for your bishop. cd5, and now you can play 4, I think. Now it's a little bit different. Okay, still d4 possible, but now that's nothing special. Okay, this is actually, now when I see the position, this is actually very dangerous for black all of a sudden. And again, what is the reason? The reason is that he still didn't castle. I mean, that was his choice, but that's the reason now that I think he has problems. Yeah, for example, e4. Yeah, even knight e4 looks dangerous for black. With knight e6 coming, or I mean, looks like now white has just much more space here. So yeah, again, we can point out few things that we already said. Basically, first of all, always look for concrete options. I was just looking for concrete option here in this position. And second of all, you're white. We are white, so that's the first reason why should we go, of course, for the win. Not only with white, but also with black. But I want to say that you always want to, of course, keep the initiative with white, especially as if you are worse with white in the opening, then probably that means that he knew opening better. So the point is that you're white, you are going for the win, for the advantage from the start, so you should think like that. So f4 is okay move, normal move, but I'm looking for stronger simply. And of course he didn't castle, and that gives me great confidence to do that. And we were talking about that a few moves ago. So that's why, for all these reasons, I think cd5 is actually a very logical move. Following with e4 again, because e4 is a concrete move. And of course, black is missing maybe just one tempi, like one move, and he will be perfectly fine. But that's, of course, one move is more than enough sometimes to be slow. I feel still like black is too slow now, even though he is missing just one move, and he's probably completely fine. But now cd5, and yeah, of course, that's actually the main reason why I try to open the position now, because his king is still in the center. So e4, and we can already see like what's the problem. Why it's simply better to castle than not? Because, for example, here black might try, like we said, okay, it was different. It's never the same chess. Black might try with d4, queen d4, and bishop c5. Like, the main idea is to keep this bishop close, of course, and to get back this pawn on e5 later. But now queen a4, I think, and knight is pinned, and we see that if black castle, he could take on e5, but now he cannot because his knight is pinned. And okay, now this move probably, but white is pushing here, obviously. I mean, rook d1, bishop f4, and so on. Okay, still far from over, obviously, but I think white is the only one who can win this position. I mean, white is pawn up, more active, more space, and yeah, so on. So yeah, okay, we have f4 in the game, and probably black castled. I mean, if he didn't, yeah, he did. And now white is thinking. Always be careful with, I mean, f pawns are probably most sensitive pawns are always on the board, because usually when you play with f pawn, you open your king, you open some diagonals, and you always have to be careful. That's why it's always good if you castle short side and you play f4. It's always okay to play like prophylactic move king h1. For example, now it's of course different position. And now e4 ideas doesn't work anymore, actually. cd5, e4, now d4 is much stronger. Because yeah, it's amazing that actually we have a game in this position, but I think d4 is actually like possible now. And okay, this is double pawn, of course. It's not perfect thing for white. And of course, the problem is now this bishop, and queen d4 is not possible because of bishop c5. Bishop a6 next, knight c5. All of a sudden, black is having great counterplay, and this passed pawn. Okay, it's very hard to tell with this kind of pawns, especially in the middle game, are they strong or weak? But looks like this one might have actually very nice support now with these pieces. So, and now position completely changed. Now probably black is slightly better, I think. Okay, in the game we had, in this one game, in this position, black played bishop a6, and black actually won this position, so that's bishop a6. After bishop a6, I will probably take e d5, I feel like. Yeah, that's what white did. Bishop f1, queen f1, e d5, knight d5. Yeah, feels like, okay, white sacrificed a little bit, but he has bishops now, knight. Feels like better position than for white, much better than this one. So I think d4 is just the best move here, actually, for black. And then you can play bishop a6 easily later. Okay, let's hope that Jan didn't do that. Oh, Jan just went for b3 in this position. Yeah, okay, he's trying to... I noticed that happens a lot with unexperienced players, that they are sometimes we are trying to connect ideas from some position to another, especially in the openings. Like this b3 is typical Jan's idea in Rqtte opening in these positions and in his repertoire, but I think this is not position now for b3. It was a Catalan opening, basically. It wasn't like double fianchetto or something else. So I'm not sure that in Catalan you play b3, because now, okay, the big question is what white should play. I would play king h1, and then my idea is to play. Then I stop d4, and my idea is e4, and I think that's like very useful move, like improve your pieces. But here it's actually not easy to improve, and b3 is actually the thing that we said already today. Like this bishop, it's very unclear where is he going actually. Okay, here obviously not, but I don't feel like it's better actually at all on b2 than on c1, for example. Here I might play f5 later maybe, and he will open. But on b2, we'll be stuck forever. So it's very hard to find a useful move in this position. So I think king h1 is like one of them. Okay. Only concrete option cd5. We said e4 doesn't work now, so no concrete options. Again, I think most important rule and most very easy but very useful strategical move is like strategical rule is like when you don't have anything concrete to do, anything tactical, let's say, improve your pieces. So, or worst piece. So this king is not good. Yeah, here. So king h1 is improving, I think, even though it doesn't
Sorry
look
for
like
interrupting
straight
again.
away, but
This is
set the white.
really strange. I think I haven't seen a pawn chain from h2 to e5 before, and I don't necessarily think it's a good thing. And yeah, we just find out, I guess. My plan is next to go pawn h4 and then bishop a3. I mean, pawn a4, bishop a3. And yeah, we have to think for every move out of book for a long time. That's it for me for now.
Okay, yeah. Good luck anyway. Yeah. Well, that's the thing when usually, like young players, people who start to play chess, usually, play like we learn to checkmate, we learn tactics first and those stuff. We play like for checkmate, e4, just uh, attacking, let's say attacking chess. And it's for me, like I play chess more than 20 years. It's very weird to see these days like new people, new players, doesn't matter which age, like from
Jurica, again,
7
I'm
to
interrupting,
77.
sorry,
It's the
but
same thing.
it's always a good thing to evaluate the position, and last time I did such a critical mistake, so I'm trying to do this here well again. So I always do it with K maps, which starts K for king safety. I think his king is super safe. I have no idea how to get to the king. My king is not so safe, already check waiting on c5. And yeah,
That's
so
why king
material
h1
is equal.
would be a move
Then
here.
we have piece activity. I think, yeah, also equal to me. When I take a look at his bishop on c8, it's kind of, well, not developed yet, more or less. Mine are doing kind of fine, although the bishop on c1 is stuck. Pawn structure. Yeah, I have this double pawn on the e file, and kind of worried if I lose my pawn on the f file. So that's it. And space, I think I'm doing a little better here, but also close to equal. So basically for me it's an equal position, unless we think of the king safety, and king safety first and most highest priority. So I'm behind him. So my evaluation would be like minus 0.3 or 4, something like that.
Yeah, that's actually maybe all connected. What I was trying to say that also king h1. Yeah, and if you say king is not great, you say king h1. Anyway, I was talking about people playing like new young players or people who start to play chess, like playing this like extremely, I would even say extremely strategical openings. It's like a little bit unusual for me, it's like very hard to play very well strategical. Like this is already now second game where we have like pure positional fight, and it's very hard to do when you're just starting to play chess. It's much easier. It's probably like ironic, but it's much easier to play some kind of open, sharp positions because then you know what you have to do. You have to checkmate, you have to gain material, you have to create a trick. But in these kind of positions, there are so many small things that like comes with time. So maybe it's not too late for Jan to start to play e4 first move. Long story short. Yeah, position is not great. Bishop a6, okay, that's obviously, I think, okay move. Perfectly okay move. And yeah, the thing about Catalan also, now we can say cd5. Jan took cd5. I think now the main reason like why Catalan wasn't successful here for white is that bishop actually on a6, as it's very often the problem for black in this opening. And yeah, like we can see straight away from the beginning, black plays e6. That might be the biggest problem for black, like long term speaking, in Catalan, that bishop. And now, okay, we won't go into big details and we won't see many positions, just like that. Always, that black always uh, has to develop him. Like that's the only problem. Even maybe black is on the other hand perfectly fine and very solid in this opening. So anyway, the point is that now when I see this bishop in Catalan like very strong, that means that Catalan gone wrong for white, I would say. Beside pawn structure also here. I mean, 95 is like a motive here, and that's like typical Catalan move, but you want to make use of it. Like we did, for example, playing in 95 in our analysis, we wanted to play knight c6, because in the end, if you don't do anything, you will just have these two double pawns. I mean, double pawns are a weakness, usually. I mean, it's not like a lost position because of them, but they're not perfect. So, and black has very nice pawn structure. Now this bishop, yeah, unfortunately black is slightly better here.
Okay, this is Jan again, and just wanted to let you know that it's very interesting to play on the board again. Didn't do that for the last, well, I guess the last one on the board was my tournament game in end of May, and so it's really different from just playing on the computer display. And I think I oversaw tactics, but if he goes pawn d4, he's attacking my knight. If I take with the queen, he can go bishop c5 and having a pin on the queen, and yeah, we see. I'm sorry for interrupting again, but my heart rate just went up a little, and for me it's very it's a position full of tension, and I really have to pay attention. And yeah, he's clearly better now, has the snipers on b4 and a6, pointing on my king side, and yeah, I have to defend. Didn't I say that I didn't want to do this, and I just did it, and it's amazing how stupid I can be. Really wonderful. Yeah, so basically I think it's game over, but I will play on a little more. That was so stupid. I just didn't pay attention. Oh my. Sorry to interrupt again. So I'm totally disheartened and yeah, cannot believe it more or less, but I turn this into a blitz game now and just see how fast this goes and if something comes up or not. But, yeah, a little disappointed of myself. Okay, so basically I'm sorry for wasting everybody's time here and just trying to see where it all leads. So yeah, it's probably over now. So it's a big congrats to Rqtte, or whatever his name is. Super well played, and yeah, I just have to find out how to recover from this super loss. And yeah, it was just me thinking more or less about the stream. If technically everything runs well, it really distracts me. It's an excuse, of course, but it really is there. Then playing over the board, I will do this more frequently from now on. And yeah, and again, I will take a look at the opening, of course, because I haven't seen that before. I was thinking about what happens if he goes with his pawn on c5. And well, that's it for now. And I really wonder why I had a classical rating of 1800. I really wonder, because it's all going down now for the last 3-4 games. Since I started streaming, actually, it started going really bad. But probably that's just a phase to get used to it. And I'm really looking forward to tonight's Bundesliga games. That is easy blitz, where blunders don't matter because the next game is always coming. And yeah, basically, that's it from my side. Yes.
Oh,
yes, now it works.
I'm sorry.
So, okay.
I'm sorry. I was muted. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to say, don't worry about the rating, and yeah. Okay. You will learn a lot in sport. No pain, no gain, and that's it. Let's go on.
Yeah, do you know what I find most funny? Like really funny. You know, I'm the kind of guy who says, well, if you're in a bad situation, just make jokes and so it gets better.
Yeah.
So it was so funny because a minute or two before I made the queen move, I said, well, and I really need to pay attention because if his bishop goes on c5, then I lose my queen because it's pinned. And then like one move later, I just do it. Yeah, so it's really without paying attention.
Yeah. Okay. Watch the stream, and I hope you will learn something. And let's go on. That's it. Nothing you can do.
Yes, absolutely. So
We'll be better. That's for sure.
by the way, are you going to play the Liga tonight and we stream you, or will I play and we stream me?
Whatever. I can play. We can play. Yeah. Why not?
Okay, we decide. Okay.
Yeah.
So if
for
you
sure.
if you're in for it, we're probably going to stream you. And if you're saying, well, I need rest, and then I'm going to play and stream. Okay.
Sure. No worries.
So just in case
Okay.
someone watched, I'm so sorry for wasting your time, and hope you still had fun.
No, it's okay. It was great strategical lesson for everybody, for all of us.
Right, I'm going to rewatch the stream now, and wishing everyone a
Okay.
great Sunday.
Okay. Talk to you later, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.